squeezing the line. There's no way to find a hole in my heart. Once the night sky above us.
Today on the podcast, we are featuring the California singer-songwriter Stevie Cornell. Learn more about him and listen to his track, Black Hole in My Heart.
Welcome to the Eat, Sleep, Breathe Music podcast, where we talk all things music. I'm your host, Jeanette Kimsel, blogger and music enthusiast. Let's get started with today's episode.
Just popping in to give you a heads up, this podcast contains paid promotional content. That means we were compensated for the feature. All opinions are our own, and we only choose to represent music that we truly dig. Now on with the show. Hey everyone, welcome to the Eat, Sleep, Breathe Music podcast. I'm your host, Jeanette Kimsel. For those of you just joining us, this is the podcast where I talk about different musicians and how their music affects me and then play a track of theirs for you to listen to. So you can check it out, form your own opinion as well, and I'd love to know what you think of the track. So if you're so inclined to do so, I'll have details at the end of the show where you can share your thoughts and opinions on this song. Today I'm chatting about the Santa Rosa, California-based musician Steve Cornell. Now, Steve Cornell has been a staple in the music industry, and he's not only a singer-songwriter, but he's a multi-instrumentalist whose roots go back all the way to the 1970s, the vibrant East Bay punk scene. And he was in a band called the Young Adults, and they were a popular live band, but they never released any vinyl. They were kind of in the middle of the early punk scene, and they went against the grain. They liked to sport these cheesy leisure suits and long hair and dared to play slow songs as well as more standard punk anthems like Shut Your Fucking Mouth. And then some of the former members went on to the Dead Kennedys and Wire Train. Then, fast forward to the 80s, Stevie was a founding member of the Movie Stars, who were a top San Francisco Americana group in the late 80s and early 90s. The Movie Stars released 2 critically acclaimed albums, but they never found commercial success in the exploding grunge era that was happening around them. And then after about a brief stint on the road with John Wesley Harding in the early 90s, Cornell played pedal steel with the great retro country band Red Meat. And then after that, he kind of decided to go to a tiny village in Vermont and kind of just take time off to raise a family. And while in Vermont, he continued playing music, teaching guitar to kids, and also writing songs and performing locally. So he's been working as a musician over the past 5 decades. After Vermont, he returned to California, settling in Santa Rosa, and here he got to work again. And in 2022, he released his self-titled album, which is the record the song I'll be playing later is from. As you can see, Cornell's musical journey has had some quite interesting twists and turns, and these changes have made him well-rounded as a musician. He's played various genres of music and garnered quite an eclectic musical style. One thing that remained the same was his ability to convey his message in a 3-minute song. That is also the case with the song Black Hole in My Heart that I'll be playing later today. The song is short, it's about 3 minutes long, but it leaves a really big impact on the listener. And in this song, Cornell takes his musical prowess and focuses on the folk and acoustic genres. And the song, it's sad, but it's also this warmth to it, this blanket that just surrounds you like a cozy sweater. And maybe it's the feeling of succumbing to the inevitable. The lyrics, they paint this vivid picture of this pain or black hole in the heart, and it goes, black hole in my heart, it's pulling you in the size of a pin, it's pulling you in, black hole in my heart, it's dragging you down, you can't make a sound, but it's dragging you down. And then, another verse talks about how things are all right, but then this blackness kind of took over with the lyrics, black hole in my heart, it's snacking on stars, it's munching on Mars, the hole in my heart. Once the night sky above us was covered in light, the moon on the rise, what a beautiful sight, but it all came collapsing in on itself. With all of this, you can feel the suffering and the heartache this person is going through. You don't know why it's happening. You just know that there is some damage and it has been done and it doesn't seem repairable. And these lyrics, they're just delivered wonderfully by Cornell. His vocals are even filled with fraught ominousness and despair that just really gets to the listener's attention from the first few notes. And it's so perfectly paired with like these continuous drum beats and guitar riffs that are very reminiscent to me of like 1950s music. And I know like his genre is folk, but to me this really sounds like not rock and roll, but like it's got these elements of kind of like almost reminding me of like a 50s rock and roll song, but it's slow and repetitive and just very earwormy, you know, it gets stuck in your ear and it takes you back to music from that era. And I really loved it all around. And even again, like I said, I thought it was kind of a sadder song and more of like a, not negative, but like, you know, not like an upbeat music melody, but it still has just something to it that's very enticing and very just enjoyable for as enjoyable a sad song can be, I guess. And I wonder if the song has a meaning of acceptance to things we cannot control, because there really is no end to this, you know? There's no person saying like, oh, things are going to get better and things are going to be great. And I think that's okay, because sometimes we just need sad songs. You know, if you're in a sad mood, sometimes it can be fun to listen to sad songs and have a song to match your mood. So I think that, you know, this is an interesting track and it's definitely one to check out, but I feel like I have been chatting for a while, so without further ado, here is Black Hole in My Heart by Stevie Cornell.
Black hole in my heart, the size of a pin. It's pulling you in. Black hole in my heart, it's dragging you down. You can't make a sound, 'cause it's dragging you down. Black hole in my heart, it's squeezing the light. There's no way to find once the night sky above us was covered in light. The moon on the rise, what a beautiful sight. But it all came collapsing in on itself. Now, no, here's when I cry for help. Help sweeping up space, it's gonna erase the whole of my heart. Black hole in my heart is snacking on stars, it's munching on Mars. The hole in my heart, once the night sky above us was covered in light. Moon on the rise, what a beautiful sight. But it all came collapsing in on itself. Now no one hears when I call for help. Black hole in my heart, it's squeezing the light. Once was a song, now that it's done, there's a hole in my heart, black hole in my heart.
We would love to know what you think about Stevie Cornell and his track Black Hole in My Heart. You can tell us in a comment on the podcast webpage. You can also leave an audio comment at the link in the episode summary. If you want more information on Stevie Cornell, check out his official website, steviecornell.com. That is STEVIECORNELL.com. You can also follow him on Instagram and Twitter at the handles Stevie Cornell Music and Stevie Cornell MU2. I can also leave links to these in the show notes. If you're looking for more new music, be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you'll get the latest updates on our artist features. You can also find more music features on our website at www.eatsleepbreathemusic.com. That is EATSLEEPBREATHEMUSIC.com. Thanks for listening and see you in the next episode.
Thanks so much for listening to the Eat, Sleep, Breathe Music podcast. To find new music and learn more about what we do, you can check out our website at www.eatsleepbreathemusic.com.